It started as an ordinary morning inside a crowded animal shelter, barking dogs, clanging cages, and tired workers. But within minutes, one cruel act would ignite outrage across the world. A frustrated shelter worker, angered by a barking German shepherd, raised his hand and slapped the dog across the face. The sound echoed through the hall. Cameras caught it all. The dog didn't fight back. He didn't growl. He simply looked at his abuser with calm, haunting eyes that had seen more than anyone could imagine. By nightfall, the video was everywhere. Millions demanded justice. But when the truth about that dog's past came to light, the world realized he wasn't just a shelter dog, that he was a war hero. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The morning light crept through the cracked shelter windows, casting long beams over the cold concrete floors. The air was thick with the echo of whimpers and rattling cages, a symphony of forgotten souls. Among them sat Rex, a German shepherd with intelligent, amber eyes that told a story no one bothered to ask. He had been found wandering alone near a highway, his collar torn, his paws raw from walking miles. Volunteers said he was just another stray, but one woman, Emily, noticed something different. He didn't bark aimlessly like the others. He sat upright, alert, watching every movement with soldier-like precision. When she placed a bowl of water in front of him, he didn't rush. He waited, as if trained to follow orders. Behind the cages, footsteps echoed, heavy, impatient, human. The shelter's routine was about to begin, but for Rex, this day would not be like the others. Because in just a few minutes, he would face something that would test not his strength, but his loyalty. And no one in that building could have imagined this quiet, calm dog was about to make history. The shelter's metal doors groaned as they opened, and Carl, the senior worker, stepped inside. His uniform was wrinkled, his expression sour, a man who had stopped caring long ago. "Another day, another mess," he muttered, slamming his clipboard onto a counter. The dogs cowered instinctively. All except one, Rex. Rex stood tall in his cage, eyes fixed on Carl. A low growl rumbled from his throat, not in aggression, but warning. It was subtle, but Carl didn't like challenges. "Oh, so you think you're tough?" he sneered, unlocking the cage. The German shepherd didn't move. Then it happened. A sharp crack echoed through the hallway. Carl's hand struck Rex across the face. The dog's body flinched, but his eyes didn't. No whimper, no bark, just silent strength. From the far corner, Emily froze, horrified, her hand covering her mouth. She reached for her phone, trembling, and began to record. Carl stormed out, muttering curses, never realizing that single slap would soon bring the entire world's attention crashing down on him and expose a secret about Rex no one was ready for. The sound of the slap still echoed in the narrow hallway, but Rex didn't retaliate. Instead, he slowly lowered his head and stepped back into the corner of his cage. His ears pressed flat, not in fear, but in control. His breathing steadied, his gaze locked on Carl's retreating figure. It was as if he'd been trained for moments just like this, to hold his ground when provoked. Emily's phone trembled in her hand as she captured everything. Her heart ached watching Rex lick the side of his muzzle where Carl's hand had struck. Still, he didn't growl, didn't bark. He simply sat down, calm and silent, as if he was waiting for an order that would never come. Later that evening, when the shelter lights dimmed and the others went home, Emily stayed behind. She replayed the video again and again. The stillness in Rex's eyes haunted her. It wasn't fear, it was something deeper, pain mixed with discipline. Her conscience wouldn't let her rest. Hands shaking, she uploaded the video anonymously, titling it only, "They hit the wrong dog." By morning, it had already reached 100,000 views. And within hours, the quiet dog the world ignored was about to become the voice every heart would rally behind. By sunrise, the shelter's dusty parking lot was filled, not with volunteers, but with reporters, flashing cameras, and furious voices. The video had exploded overnight. Millions of people watched in disbelief as the image of a helpless German shepherd being slapped by a shelter worker spread across every platform. The caption, "They hit the wrong dog," hit even harder. Carl arrived late that morning, sipping coffee, unaware of the storm waiting for him. The moment he stepped out of his truck, dozens of cameras turned toward him. Protesters shouted his name. Emily stood among them, her heart pounding. She hadn't expected it to blow up like this, but deep down, she knew Rex deserved justice. Inside, Rex sat quietly in his cage as chaos unfolded outside. He didn't understand fame or outrage, but he sensed something had changed. When Emily entered and knelt beside him, he rested his paw on her arm, eyes soft yet steady, as though thanking her for giving him a voice. That same afternoon, animal welfare officers arrived, armed with orders. Carl was removed from duty, and Rex was released into Emily's temporary care. But what none of them knew yet was that Rex wasn't just any shelter dog. His past held a truth powerful enough to silence the entire internet. The next morning, a black SUV pulled up outside the shelter. A man in uniform stepped out, broad-shouldered, his chest lined with medals. His name was Colonel Davis, retired military K-9 commander. "Where's the German Shepherd from the video?" he asked firmly. The staff led him to Rex's cage. The moment the colonel saw Rex, he froze. "It can't be," he whispered. He crouched down, calling softly, "Echo, come." Rex's ears twitched. His head lifted slowly, and then, like instinct reborn, he stood, walked forward, and sat at attention, eyes locked on the colonel. The room fell silent. Davis turned to the stunned staff. "This isn't a stray. This is Echo, a decorated military K-9. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan. We thought he died in a blast 2 years ago." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "You mean? He's a hero?" Davis nodded, his voice heavy with emotion. "He saved 3 soldiers from a collapsed building before vanishing in the explosion." Even Carl, who had struck him, stood speechless, shame flooding his face. When Davis saluted the dog, Rex responded instinctively, sitting tall, gaze unwavering. The air in the shelter changed completely. The abused shelter dog had just reminded everyone what true courage and loyalty looked like. And now, the world was watching. The shelter felt different now, brighter, warmer, alive. Where there had once been silence, there was now respect. Posters of Rex, the hero dog, covered the newsstands. Donations flooded in from around the world. The video that had exposed cruelty had now become a symbol of compassion and change. Carl was officially dismissed. His apology, though public, could never erase what he'd done. Yet even as cameras followed the aftermath, Rex never showed anger. When Carl passed by to collect his things, Rex simply turned his head away, peaceful, dignified, as if forgiveness itself lived within him. Days later, a woman arrived at the shelter, clutching a worn photo of a soldier and his dog. Her voice trembled. "That's my husband," she whispered, tears falling. "And that's him." Rex's ears perked up. The moment her scent reached him, he bounded forward, pressing his head against her chest. She dropped to her knees, sobbing. "You waited for us," she cried. That reunion broke every heart in the room. Cameras rolled, but no one spoke. The only sound was the gentle whimper of a dog finding his family again as they walked out together into the sunlight. The sign above the shelter read, "Every life matters." And this time, the world finally believed it.